Something called each one of you here. Something called me here. None of us is here by accident. Nothing that I say or nothing that you hear inside yourself in response to what I say is an accident. It is a divine plan. Because God wants to know something about itself by means of us. God wants something to happen here. And God places that desire in us, in each one of us. We have answered the call. So, like it or not, you have let Spirit loose. And you're going to get all that comes with it. And some of us, I know, when you get down to the nitty-gritty, the real nitty-gritty, we have some unconscious fears. All those stem from the belief that what Spirit wants in us, we won't like. And yet, we can't get rid of something inside of us that just yearns and longs and wants more. We have a lot of different definitions for God in this teaching. But one of my favorites that I've been working on is infinite potential. God is infinite potential. And I've been reading a lot of Emma Curtis Hopkins also. So I'm not interested in focusing on so much what God is right now. I've been thinking about how much God is present that I'm not aware of. Emma Curtis Hopkins, as we know, inspired Dr. Ernest Holmes with a lot of his ideas. And she had the audacity to say, there is good for me and I ought to have it. There is good for me and I ought to have it. We cannot get rid of that thought, of that yearning, but we are trained very early to let it go. And so, what happens? Our deepest desires haven't been satisfied yet. We come up with some really good ways of avoiding the pain of not having our desires fulfilled. And of course, the only reason why our deepest desires are not fulfilled is because we are busy believing lies. Lies are what causes us hurt. If one believes that I am unlovable, everybody else can have that perfect mate, that right and perfect mate, but not me. All I do, all I tried, I'm just not good enough. And even if God gave me more and more of the good, I wouldn't be able to handle it. I'm afraid of it. I'm afraid I won't be enough. The pain of believing those lies causes us in survival mode to rationalize them away. We suppress them. We repress them. We depress them. We've got to live. And it's not happy. We're not happy living in disappointment. It's a paradox to live with a burning desire to know more God, to express more God, even if it's a parking spot or I weigh 125 pounds. It is painful to believe it all the while, that lie, we can't have it. Because. And the paradox is, because we are creative beings, we somehow are designed to be gloriously satisfied right where we are now, and at the same time to have our desires for more to be manifested in us. How do we do that? But yet it's a paradox. Spirit is a paradox. We know from Dr. Ernest Holmes that all thought is creative. Every thought is creative. Well, I take that information and I think the purpose of thought is to create. The purpose of thought is to create. We know that we are creative beings. We are made in the image and likeness of God. We know that we are creative, but our purpose is to create. Our purpose is to make new. And all the good that has taken tangible form in us already is old good, dead thought. Dead thoughts. What we have in our lives now is the end of a creative process. And it absolutely should be celebrated. We've all heard over time that God rested on the seventh day and looked at what he did and said it's good. We need that moment. And at the same time, we begin the creative process with the next thought. We are never done creating. So we've been designed with this inner desire that can never be over, because we can never stop creating. It is infinite good. God is expressing infinite good and wants to express that infinite good in infinite ways in each one of us. If I asked you, who are you? You could say, I'm God. And I presume you'll say, I'm God. And then I'll say, well, who is God? And you'll say, God is power, light, love, energy, universal good, yada, yada, yada. But to bring it into the feeling level and let the heart be part of the equation, the heart that yearns and longs and wants more good. Because we can say then that, and Emma said it too, that our good is our God.